Hello and welcome to PhDtalk. My name is Miriam and I'm the host in this podcast where I interview PhD students to let them talk about their topics and struggles and joys, and where me and others share tips with you to make your life as a PhD student more effective, less stressful, and most importantly, more fun. For this episode, I met with Nazerke. Nazerke is a PhD student at Ghent University in Belgium. She studies precision farming and bio-based fertilizers, and in particular, how precision farming can be used to apply bio-based fertilizers in an optimal way, increasing sustainability while reducing emissions and nutrient losses. I hope you can feel Nazerke's enthusiasm for this topic. I certainly did. And that was really nice. Yeah, feeling her passion for her project. So it was really a pleasure speaking with her. So I wish you fun with this episode. Enjoy the episode. And then let's talk science. Today's introduction is in Kazakh.
Сәлем достар, менің есімім Назерке Amangeldy. Мен Гент университетінде аспирантурада оқимын. Бұл менің екінші жылым. Менің оқуым precision fertilization де болып табылады. Бүгін мен интервью бергелі отырмын. Сіздерге ұнайды деп үміттенемін.
Yeah, hi Nazerke.
Yeah, hi.
Nice to have you for this interview.
Yeah, nice to be here, and thank you for inviting me.
Yeah, sure. Would you like to introduce yourself a little bit, like your past, and how did you end up in Ghent?
Yeah, sure. So actually my, academic background starts from, let's say bachelor. Mm-hmm. I did it in my hometown.
Where was that?
In Shymkent, in Kazakhstan. Yeah, I finished a bachelor in agrochemistry. And then I got an opportunity to apply for IMSOPLO master's program. So one of my professors suggested me to apply for this program. Yeah, luckily I was accepted. Yeah, I'm not sure if you heard of, or if any of the listeners heard of this program, but basically this program is organized by 4 universities, and university as the main university. And then there is Boku and Aarhus University and Göttingen University as well. There are 2 majors, physical land resource and soil biogeochemistry and global change. So I applied for the second program, soil biogeochemistry and global change. Yeah. But what was interesting and what I love about this is that both of the majors, they studied together first semester at Ghent University.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
So we had the whole experience of sharing this experience. The first semester is very warm and as well very hectic. Then I did my second semester at Boku in Vienna, and then the third semester at Göttingen University in Germany. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then you have a chance to either stay in Göttingen or to Boku in Vienna. Yeah, I opted for the second one because I found a very nice master's thesis topic that I was interested in. It was related to carbon sequestration and as well greenhouse gas emissions. And so during my last years of master's, I've come across this very futuristic and as well exciting PhD position in precision agriculture where I applied for, and luckily, very luckily, and I remind myself every day about how lucky I am that I got accepted for this program. Yeah, which I love, really, really love at the moment. And now I'm part of the precision scoring group at Ghent University. And
Okay. Yeah, thank you. And what is precision agriculture? How should you define it?
Yeah, basically, there are not one specific definition given that everyone refers to. Even the term precision agriculture is called digital farming or precision farming as well, and also smart farming. But the main concept is that we have big data at the moment, right? So we have satellite images. We don't realize this, but more than 8,000 satellites are so like constantly they are moving and gathering data actually. So we have that data as well. And we also might have some sensors or soil data as well, right? So the point is we have a lot of data at the moment, and we have a lot of technology advancements in soil sensing, or it could be remote sensing as well, proximal sensing, remote sensing, or we have other technological advancements in the area as well. And so the main point is to use all of these advancements, including the data management techniques like AI, you've heard of, it's very hot at the moment. Yeah. So using all of this data and data management, and also to make decisions on the management. So, for example, if I have a satellite image of the farm in a high resolution, so why not to use that data to to manage my farm? So basically that's the concept. If I'm not going too much into detail, like explaining all the soil sensing, proximal sensing or remote sensing techniques. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And how can the image of a farm be translated into information that is useful for me? So if I imagine, okay, now I can see my maize field or my wheat field from above. Why am I smarter than before? Like, how can I use this information?
Yeah, actually, precision farming originates, arguably, it's what I think, maybe someone can say differently. Mm-hmm. It's not a new idea. It's the idea that our ancient ancestors used, like when we were small households and we had our gardens or small farms behind the house. So we were, it was pretty manageable, right? So you would already know where you are applying more, where you are applying less, and you try to balance it out. But since the population size increased and we had like also the production increased with the technological advancements as well, like the tractors and etc. We started to have big fields, and instead of thinking about okay, what should I apply there, what should I apply there, it's easy to manage, right? If I was a farmer, I would do probably the same, right? I would just put one nitrogen. I have one nitrogen amount, like okay, I take one sample. And based on that one sample, I just apply the fertilizers. Mm-hmm. That's called uniform-based fertilizer. So just based on one or a few samples. Mm-hmm. But the whole point is you are not covering the heterogeneity of the soils. Because as a soil scientist, I know, and you, who is related to soil science as well, you also know that soils are very dynamic and they constantly change. As well, they are not like even 3 meters apart. Soils could be very much different in the properties or in the contents of the nutrients as well. Mm-hmm. So basically it's not, let's say, wise, right? So you are applying the same amount everywhere, or you might have slopes even in your field. So that also differs your nutrient contents as well. And that's why, considering all of this, we are applying, okay, this part of the field doesn't need that much of a fertilizer, but this much of the field we need to apply more because of maybe the soil is sandy, or maybe their water holding capacity is very low, or it could be other reasons as well, right? Mm-hmm. Or their slope. So we are considering all of this and applying the fertilizer, taking into account all of this. Why this is important? Because you know that if you are applying the same amount uniformly to the field, and you are not considering the variability, where you have to apply less, you are applying more, for example, right? So it means you are already causing the extra nutrient leaching or emissions, or it's harming somehow the environment as well. So it's not sustainable. In a way, precision agriculture also advocates for sustainability. Yeah, that's actually our main, let's say, main thing that we are trying to like say, okay, see here, like you don't have to apply more, you don't have to apply this. So yeah, basically,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. So what I thought now was that, for example, before a farmer would have like a small garden, or even a private person or private family, they would have a garden, and over the years they would know, okay, in this corner, somehow there's more moisture. And in this corner, somehow the tomatoes don't grow for whatever reason.
Yeah.
But if we have hectares of fields, then obviously a farmer cannot grasp the differences that are happening over the field, and then the satellite images can.
As well. It, as I said before, it helps them to manage easily.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, it also helps the farmer to communicate, let's say, with his farm, right?
Yeah,
farmer
exactly.
has to know what's happening in his farm. And if he's ignorant of it, I'm sorry, but he might be harming the environment, and he might be harming himself as well, economically, because he might spend maybe more money recovering that land if he doesn't take into account the health of the soil and try to improve the soil on his farm.
Yeah, sure. Mm-hmm. Yeah, makes sense. Okay. So also just to wrap this up maybe. So if a farmer, of course, applies too much, then the farmer is harming the environment. But if the farmer is applying too little, then we don't get the yield that we could get. So we could also increase yields probably and reduce environmental impacts, you think?
Yes, in a sense, yes. That's what is like sustainable, and in a sustainability sense, of course, that makes sense. But at the same time, what we also take into consideration is the crop production, right? So we are not telling to farmers like, okay, apply less or apply more, and we don't care about your crop production. No, that's not what we are doing. Yeah. We are also saying, keeping it sustainable, we also want to enhance the crop production. So it's not like we are ignorant completely. No. Of course, if we say that, farmers would think we are crazy. Like, why would I adopt that system? No. We are trying to increase, or at least keep in the same crop production, right?
Yeah, of course.
So,
Yeah. Okay, I see. And then what is it that you do in that? What is your research focusing on? Yeah.
So I can bring up two terms: precision fertilization, bio-based fertilizers. So my research focused on precision fertilization. What is it? We can apply by the concept that I described before, manure, or you can apply any product input you want to apply it in your farm. It could be manure, it could be synthetic fertilizer, it could be bio-based fertilizers, right? So I also want to talk about the bio-based fertilizers as well. That is a new fertilizer type that is trying to replace synthetic fertilizers. I think it's interesting in a way to mention that these fertilizers, what they are, basically, they are produced by recycling the waste materials, waste organic materials, and they are made so in a emission reduced way. So, as you know, synthetic fertilizer nitrogen is very energy intensive, and as main industries, they still use fossil fuel based energies. So and synthetic fertilizer nitrogen is one of them. The second is the phosphorus limit. So, as you may know, we have very limited source of phosphor, and it's very worrying. As a person, I worry very much that if we run out of phosphor, we don't know what we are going to do, because basically it takes thousands of years naturally to recycle the phosphorus. And but the bio-based fertilizers comes as a solution, because it can recycle phosphorus from the organic waste materials. So that's why bio-based fertilizers is very interesting. These fertilizers, I think most of the papers in this fertilizers forget to mention, maybe they mention, maybe I wasn't paying that much attention, is that they say, okay, it's sustainable and sustainable. Yeah, it's sustainable in a way of production. But if you don't manage the application, during the application, if you don't manage it properly and the nutrient contents, it's also, when you're applying it, it's not sustainable, right? So you for example, most of the bio-based fertilizers are ammonia-based, and if you don't apply it properly, it's going to be emitted, volatilized, or it could cause emissions as well. So, of course, it's hot topic happening at the moment. Of course, it is sustainable in a way of production, but it's if you don't manage it properly when you're applying. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And are the dangers of applying bio-based fertilizers in, like, let's say, a wrong way higher than the dangers of applying mineral fertilizers in a wrong way?
Well, I think I'm not an expert in the area. My job is just to apply bio-based fertilizers in a precision way. But when it comes to application, of course, I also have to communicate with experts in the area. So I ask them, is this how should I apply this fertilizer? Should I incorporate it in the soil, or should I what should I do? So I also communicate with the experts how to apply. Yeah, if you don't know, if you apply it improperly, of course you are going to lose it. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So it's more about that mineral fertilizers everyone is basically familiar with. Farmers mostly know how to apply it, but then with bio-based fertilizers, it could be that we need to find other ways to apply it. Yeah.
Yeah, I think, yes, there are ways. Most farmers who are have manure, they are somehow familiar with bio-based fertilizers, and they may know it. But if you are new to the area, I think maybe they must be told how to apply it. Yeah.
Okay.
Or if they are really good in chemistry, maybe they will find out. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And then bio-based fertilizers and manure. What is your definition of bio-based fertilizers? Because it's not just applying manure in the field, right? It's a bit more complex than that.
Yeah, it is complex. Actually, if you look at the literature in bio-based fertilizers, there is no such a term bio-based fertilizer. It's still undergoing. For example, I came across papers which were published in 2022, they still use different terms to refer to bio-based fertilizers. But if you look in general, like the papers that are published, and if you analyze, like, what terms are the most used, just basic statistics, but bio-based fertilizers is the most used term. So I would refer to them as bio-based fertilizers. Yeah. So what are bio-based fertilizers? So basically, as I said, it's recycling the nutrients from organic or bio-based materials from the waste. It could be from agriculture, it could be from our household waste, right? Or it could be wastewater. So basically, we process them and we recycle them and take the valuable plant available nutrients from them, and then we use it as fertilizers. For me, I love the idea. I don't know whoever came up with this genius idea, but this is very futuristic. I think that's the way to go. Recycling our own waste. It's a huge step, and we are already stepping into future. So it's very futuristic, and I think that's where we must go as the way we innovate and go into it. Because as you think of it, we have very limited resource, and we will run out of them anyways, fossil fuels anyways, right? So it's a way of building our future. So yeah,
right. It's in a way it's futuristic, but at the same time it's also a bit historical because
sorry, I'm new to this area. I am using the word futuristic, but it's not futuristic if you think of it, because it is the way it should be. That what we need at the moment, because we are running out of, as I said, phosphorus, and it's a big problem. So that's why this way of approaching these problems, it's very smart.
The approach is futuristic.
Yes.
Right. True. So what is it that you do? We kind of took a detour. Your specific studies, what do you?
I might get a little bit confused because, as you may see, like, I have two futuristic. I'm using the word again, futuristic, not because it is futuristic, because I'm new to this area, right? And I hope the listeners as well, they forgive me for this, using this word, but I have these two areas merging together. Precision agriculture, second, bio-based fertilizers. And together, precision application of bio-based fertilizers. So this is my research area, and that's what I'm doing at the moment. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And how do you do it? Like, do you do like actual field experiments, or is it all data driven, or?
Yeah, I think there is even easier way to describe my research. Just keep up, wait until I publish my results, and yeah, you will see. Just keep updated. Yeah, we are actually, that's a joke, but yeah, we are performing some of the field works, and I think very soon we will come up with the results, and yeah, they will be published soon. Yeah.
Okay. So you also work with satellite images, and you have sensors in the soil, or?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I see. Where do you see yourself then in the future? How do you see the world in the future and yourself in the future? If we look from here 20 years ahead or something.
Okay. Well, 20 years ahead, I would be already close to 40. Well, well, that's a very good question. The area that I'm working in have impacted me a lot in recent years. So, and in a sense, like my thinking about agriculture, like I would think about agriculture quite differently before. But when I got introduced to precision agriculture, I started to think, actually, this is really a good idea, and why other farmers are not doing it. And so I think it's in a sense impacting me that, yeah, there are lots of as well researches are going on in the area. For example, I came across yesterday on LinkedIn, I think I've seen a video of applying fertilizers via drones, precision fertilization via drones. Again, it's my research area. Second, my colleague, he used to work in developing AI for detecting the fruits or orchard trees. We've also talked about it. And again, it's also my research area, precision agriculture. And I have also colleagues of mine who've worked in space programs as an engineer, right? So I'm surrounded by these people every day, and I'm communicating with them every day. And I have also like other researchers surrounding me doing great things. Of course, it's at the moment I'm overwhelmed, and I keep posting it on my Twitter. Maybe I might annoy some people, but I love my work, and it's totally changing my perception at the moment about thinking about future. So because I'm working in a very futuristic area, and yeah, I'm very hopeful about the future, and I want it's totally. I see myself, I think, in a somewhere working maybe with the drones, or in a company where they innovating and applying precision agriculture, or maybe I would become a researcher and start my own research group after 20 years, right? Yeah. not after my PhD. Yeah, not tomorrow. In a comfortable, some office, and doing some, also again, futuristic stuffs. Yeah. Or, actually, one of my big dreams is to work for space agency. So, yeah. I think there are lots of opportunities as well. After I started working in this area, my thinking about life started to like shift. Okay. Let's say, yeah, in a way, in a good direction. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Because, I know that we are constantly hearing about climate change, and it makes you a little bit upset. Yeah. But you see that people, like I'm among them, I'm very proud to be among them. They're working, trying to solve this, doing their best, and to be part of this very inspiring research groups it's something. Okay. It totally changed you as a person. Yeah. Okay. Nice. And also your future plans as well. Yeah. Yeah. Right. Definitely. Yeah.
Okay. That's really nice. I think you already touched on your joys and struggles. Like maybe it's a bit being overwhelmed by everything that's going on, but also enjoying it in a sense because you're part of the change, right?
Yeah. I also joke that, Actually, marriage life is very difficult, and I'm married to my work.
Yeah.
So it's my joy and struggle. I love my work, and it's, of course, overwhelming is my choice, but my struggles would be maybe I can go in my work. It's that I'm a little bit impatient. Yeah. I like things to work faster and be more efficient. Yeah. And when it's not going, sometimes it irritates me, but yeah, it's something I'm learning to be patient. Yeah.
Okay.
Just as a person and as a researcher. Yeah.
Yeah.
As a researcher, particularly because some things takes time, especially if you're at the university. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. If you're doing research on nature.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because
you cannot say to nature like, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Faster.
Yeah, exactly. I guess that's also why we study it so hard.
Yeah.
Because it's unpredictable to some extent, and it always will be, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. Could you give a small advice to your younger self? I mean, just prior to the PhD, if you were to start tomorrow, if you were to start over tomorrow.
Yeah, I actually thought about this question a bit. This comes back like why this question was very interesting to me. I think it's how I think about the time in a way.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not sure if you watched, I'm sure you've watched Harry Potter, like when they go back time with Hermione, right? Yeah. So that's what I think about the time. Mm-hmm. Whatever happened in the past, or if you are from the future and have been to the past, it would be the same.
Yeah, sure.
That's what I think about the past. So I think changing anything would be the same, I think, in a sense. So, and as a researcher, I'm very young and I cannot maybe give advice because I think the main aim of this question is to also for others to get some advice, like for young researchers. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But yeah, being patient and keep being motivated. And if you have a dream, I would say never give up. And as I said, again, if I could change anything or if I could give advice anything, I don't think like that's how the time works. Yeah. I might completely switch from the topic, but that's how I thought about it. Yeah. Okay. But yeah, I guess that's what I think about it. Yeah.
Yeah. What happened?
What happened? No, it's not as it is. If you think life as a game. So let's say chess. If you made a wrong movement, you cannot change it. It's you are playing. You cannot change your move. Oh, sorry, can I change? No, it's not how it works.
No.
Yeah, but what you can do is like, I made that mistake, but next moves, I'm going to make it like. Mm-hmm. So if you made a mistake, I'm not saying like, oh, what happened, just forget. No, you should use it to improve yourself and to use it as a lesson for your future movements or future whatever you can apply to it. So if you think about as a game, as I said, you cannot make your movement back, but you can improve your next move.
Yeah. So, okay. Yeah. Thank you.
I think that would be my answer. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot. Is there anything else that you would like to share with us?
Well, I think we've pretty much discussed a lot about things, and only thing I think there was one question about what are your joys. I actually said it's my work and etc. But I think it's also important to mention about hobbies. Mm-hmm. Well, of course it's nice that you have a job and you are giving all of it, but sometimes you also want to have some break. So in that case, your hobbies might be very helpful. Mm-hmm. For me, it's always, and it's going to be, I think, science and astronomy. So I'm a huge fan of space and galaxy and stars, everything going on. Mm-hmm. So I'm into astronomy, and that's what keeps me motivated. And so I guess don't forget about your hobbies as well. You are not one-dimensional. You should be multidimensional, but as well, it's again, there is no one way of solving problems in the life. That's what I think of it. Of course, depends on the situation. If you have a deadline, if you just spend some time for your hobby. I cannot say that, right? Yeah. So the priorities also matters. So of course, I'm saying like, yeah, enjoy your hobbies and etc. But it doesn't mean like leave everything else and just do whatever you want to do. Yeah. Sometimes most of the times, our feelings might be confusing, right? So we should base on the data and try to, take into considerations as well the situation you are at. Yeah. Priorities as well. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Thank you very much. Then I have a few last questions. They're very small and you have to answer very quickly.
Okay.
Okay. Coffee or tea?
Well, you said short, but I think I can justify my long answer by my background, because I come from a country where tea is first. We are like Central Asian, Great Britain. Yeah, we love tea. Okay. Drink tea. I was a tea person, but I deceived the tea team, and now I'm the part of the coffee because I'm in Belgium, and I'm adopting as well. Yeah. So at the moment, coffee.
At the moment, coffee. Yeah. Okay. Canteen or lunchbox?
Lunchbox.
Okay. Science or nature?
Science and nature. Okay. You cannot put them together. You cannot choose this or that. No, they always go together.
Okay. I would still ask science or art?
Science.
Nature or art? Then it's probably nature.
Nature.
Okay. Morning or evening?
Evening.
Okay. Twitter or LinkedIn?
Twitter.
That's it.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much. It was really, really interesting to listen to you.
Thank you to you as well. It was very nice actually to talk about. Yeah. It's my first interview. I might be wrong in most of the ways. I'm just a young researcher. Yeah. But if anyone listening finds out, she's wrong, you can always reach out to me. Yeah.
Yes, I will put her contact details.
Yeah, I would love to discuss. Yeah.
Yeah, you can find her in the comments to this blog post, or in the blog post to this episode.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much for listening. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you have questions, comments, or anything else, then feel free to share them with us, either on LinkedIn or in the comment section of this episode. And then I want to wish you all the best. Thank you for your time. And until next time, take care. Yours, Miriam. Bye-bye.